Hello, how are you?
Extremely well. Nice to be here.
Are you excited? Yeah, are you excited about today?
I'm super excited. Two things. The first thing is it's great to have a film that deals with a difficult subject in a way that everyone can access. So no one is going to go in there and come out screaming because it's so, full of schlock and awe. But the other thing is that this is, as I put on my social media about this, I don't care if you're an omnivore, a pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan, fruitarian. Everyone should see this film because you need to be on the journey. And as Arnold Schwarzenegger said, try going vegetarian 1 day a week, and then maybe you'll try 2 days a week. And if Arnold Schwarzenegger can say that, I'm going to follow what the boss says.
The Terminator, in fact.
Right. No, it is really, and it's really important. An important time because these issues are being discussed at the highest levels around the world. And unfortunately, what we're seeing in some circles is a retreat from the really critical agenda that we need to embrace, which is we need to have a much more sort of compassionate, understanding and sustainable farming system providing the food on our plates in a way that we can feel good about.
Are you a vegetarian or vegan yourself?
I am a vegetarian coming up 42 years. I'm vegan most of the time, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll want to be one of those people tonight who watches the film and goes, yeah, you know what, time to move to the next level.
What advice would you give to people that might be interested in being a vegetarian or vegan, and how would they go about it?
I would treat it as a really positive thing. It's not like, don't make it a negative decision, like I'm giving up things I love. Instead, say, I'm embracing a whole new range of opportunities, of dietary opportunities, of different foods that I've never tasted before, different combinations, and we've never been so fortunate as we are now. You go into any supermarket, from the most expensive to the least expensive, and you'll find an entire aisle devoted to vegetarian and vegan food. Try it, and make yourself feel good.
So in this film, we see a group of people who aren't vegetarians, all vegans. They do it for 30 days. So what do you reckon we're going to see from their reaction?
Do you know what? I haven't seen the film. I'm coming to this as a food for thought virgin. I want to look, when this film is on, I'm going to be looking at the movie, but I'm going to be looking at the audience as well, because I want to see how people react when they're presented with information in a very accessible and friendly way that challenges their stereotypes, maybe makes them think slightly differently, and who knows, we will change the world one person, one diet at a time.
You know what, it's actually really interesting because it's so refreshing to see something that is in a positive light. Because at the moment there's a lot of social media influencers who are vegans. They're passionate, but they are executing it the wrong way, which is turning people off. What advice would you give to people who are an activist, but what is the best way to be putting their thought across to others who aren't the same as them?
I think the key thing is to be very understanding and humane. I mean, you can't say, I'm a vegetarian or a vegan because I have compassion and because I care, but I don't give two hoots about people who don't follow me. In fact, I want to give them a bad time. Ask them to join you on the journey. Be aware that they may be moving at a much slower pace than you are, but the key thing is to have them moving in the first place. Get on the train, don't be left at the station.
And then also, I don't want to keep you too long, but what can we expect from you in the future?
Oh my goodness, this year particularly, it's a big year for wildlife trade. So I'm going to be at the big international trade conference in Samarkand in the middle of winter coming at the end of 2025, and we'll be talking about issues like rhino horn trade, ivory trade in all sorts of different species, and that conference, which is called CITES, is super important because it actually has sanctions. It's one of the only international agreements where when the vote is taken, all the parties, all 184 countries that have signed up to this convention have to follow that instruction. So, and I've been doing it for a long time, since 1989.
I'm also, actually quickly, I don't see the fascination on chopping off a horn, a rhino's horn, or like a tusk, but why is there a fascination, and why is it so people want to buy this, do you reckon?
People want to buy different wildlife products for different reasons. So if it was, let's say, rhino horn, some people think of that as a long-term investment strategy, because they think the fewer rhino there are, the greater the price of the individual horn that they have stashed in their cupboard might be. Now, it's illegal, but they're hoping it will become legalized at some time in the future. If it's ivory from elephants, well, it could be ivory poachers that are taking it and smugglers, but it could also be because elephants are being shot as trophies. And I find that really hard to get my head around, that somebody, usually male, pale and stale, in other words, wealthy elites from the West, go to an African country, buy a license, shoot an elephant, take the tusks home, and what have they contributed? $50,000, $60,000 to the economy. That elephant is worth far more alive than it is dead, and we have to find another way of supporting local communities rather than saying you can have the crumbs from the rich man's table because you allow trophy hunting.
Also, just a really, really fast one as well, because I don't want to keep you too long. But when it comes to, like, obviously animals getting extinct, I know a big part of it is to do with humans. However, the animal kingdom, obviously they go for each other 24/7 because they need to eat. Is that a big part of extinction as well?
No, there is a thing called the background rate of extinction. That's historically the number of species that are likely to disappear in any given period of time, and it's relatively low. What we're looking at is an anthropocentric driver, in other words, human-driven extinction. It's us, what we're doing to the climate, what we're doing to the seas, what we're doing in terms of removing forests, the habitats of animals, paving them over for supermarkets or car parks or developments or whatever it happens to be. And the more that we push nature into a corner, the more species we will lose. And I don't think, for example, that zoos, as sort of breeding reservoirs for endangered species, are able to resist that tidal wave of destruction that's coming because we are not paying attention to the natural world.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much anyway, and have a great night, by the way, because I don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah, thanks so much.